Vladimir of Save Victor. Well, how's everybody doing today? Amazing, I hope. We've got another video here from your older than average YouTuber here on the YouTubes. We're going to be doing a better late than never, but instead of just doing one palette, we're going to do some influencer darling palettes from BCH Cosmetics. So previously I had owned, and I should have a video somewhere up, of the pistachio palette, and I also had the blushing in Bali palette here with highlighter and blushes, but that was pretty much all I had from BCH Cosmetics. But I managed to score. Somebody else was cleaning out their collection and they had some that they never used or just swatched, and here they are. We've got the Mimosa Palette, the Blueberry Muffin, and the Avocado Toast. Three, along with the ice cream series, especially the pistachio, have been some internet darlings with YouTubers and makeup. So I thought we would play with these. Better late than never. So if you want to see what looks I created with the three new palettes, and in the last look I'll use some of that blush and maybe even the pistachio palette. You never know. If that's what you're into the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. So here it is, the Mimosa palette. Woohoo! BCH Cosmetics. What a beautiful pink color story with pops of orange and yellow, a little bit of white. It's nice and bright. So of course we're going to prime our eyes before heading on to our first shade. And the first shade we are going to be using is called Pomegranate. Such a pretty shade. I would think it's not so much, well, I think Pomegranate is way more red than this. I would have thought that this one was almost more like a raspberry, but there is a raspberry in this palette that looks like raspberry, so here we are. Yeah, I really like this color. I mean, BCH Cosmetics technically hasn't been around, or these palettes around, in a while, but the quality is really holding up here. I'm really enjoying it so far. Alrighty, I think I have a bit of a shape going. I didn't, again, have a plan as always. So here's our second shade called Guava, my favorite fruit, along with raspberries. I don't know how hard it is to find pink guava. I ate my weight in it when I was in Cuba, and I've never seen it since. Can always find the yellow one, but I definitely don't like that one as much as I like the pink guava. And this color is very guava-esque. Our next shade here is Bottomless. Alright, I think that is going somewhere, but I have a plan. I think we're going to take the shade OJ here, which is an orange shade, and we're going to run it along the outer edge of our eye, along the top. I thought maybe I can make it look like a little bit more of a sunset eye, so using some orange and yellows along with the pink. Yep, I think that plan is coming together. So this is the shade Sunny for our sunset. And now I'm just going to go and add a little bit more of the shade OJ to the outer corner. I just looked like it was fading out a little bit, so I just thought I would add a little bit more. And then now we're going to work on our bottom lash line, and I'm just going to use the pink, the orange, and the yellow, just like I did along the top of the line there. And then for the inner corner, I thought I would use a little white. This is the shade Chilled. just to add a little brightness to the inner corner. You don't always have to use a shimmer. I know I got this trick from Angelica Nyquist, that she likes to put a little bit of a white matte in the inner corner, and I thought I would give that a go for this look as well, and I think it worked. Okay, it's shimmer time. Now use the shade Pop. I just popped it on my phalange, ha ha ha. Just skip the middleman because I forgot my spray. I think this is a very pretty color. What do you think? I think that kind of was the right shimmer for this look. So on to the base. And there we go. There is look number 1 with palette number 1, the Mimosa palette from BCH Cosmetics. So we are going to continue on with our look into some better late than never influencer favorites with palette number 2. Okay, it's blueberry muffin time. Hungry. It's almost dinner time. It's a very pretty color story. We're going to start with the shade Decadent. It's kind of a darkish purple shade. It's really nice. I thought I would use a floofy brush. I just watched some gal just like randomly slap some makeup on with kind of no care, and it turned out awesome. So I thought I'm going to try and do that. So here we're just speeding it up just so you can show. I worked up for, I think, a little bit on this blend and the kind of this shape. Really quite like the color. Wanted to try to see how many colors I could use from this palette as per usual. And yeah, I mean, I wanted to do it a totally rounded look, but I think it kind of ended up as a little bit of a hybrid, if I must say so. And then the next shade we're going to use here is called So Good. This is the nice shade. It's kind of like the, I guess, the darkest matte blue in the palette. I mean, this palette is basically, you know, blues, some neutrals, and lots of beautiful shimmers. This one went really nice, really intense, and then I kind of mixed with the purple a bit. Then I went into the shade Cheat Day, which is a blurple. We're gonna go with that. It's not quite blue, not quite purple, and I thought that would be good to kind of connect the blues together and the purple on my brow. And then we're just gonna play with the shape and then just intensify a little bit some of the color, just to, you know, as we're blending away. And then we're working on the bottom lash line, and I just basically used So Good and Decadent on the bottom. Now we're going to use this shade Delish for the inner corner. Sorry, I didn't hold that up high enough. I'm sitting on a lower chair. I just left my office chair back there, and that's what happened. I'm sitting a bit low, but this is really nice. Everything is blending well together, and yeah, and again, we're going to intensify some more, play with the shape, and then just make sure everything is the way we have it. I think I'm definitely getting better at my blend and my placement. I should hope so after all this time, right? And now we're going to be on to shimmer time. So we're going to start with the one called Stud Muffin. It's a cute name. This one I originally thought was a matte. In the beginning I wanted to use that first, and I'm like, no, hey, I see some sparkle here. And it's just good for the blue. There is a black shimmer in here, but this one is the darkest kind of purple. Of course, we try to play with using our finger as well. Though I did remember spray this time. Now this shade is absolutely stunning. It's called Tempting, and I think I would definitely pan this shade. The only thing is you will see it falling all over my face. There is quite a bit of fallout with this one. I mean, I sprayed it, but just very lightly. But this color is so intense and beautiful, and I think it ends up making the whole entire look. Definitely looks better in person. And then, yeah, finishing up before we do our face. Nope, we've got one more shimmer to go. I forgot, we need to do the inner corner. So this is the shade Sugared. It is one of the lightest shimmers in here. The one Hot and Fresh, I think, is pretty similar as well. So there we go. All right, so there it is. There is look number 2, playing with the Blueberry Muffin palette. I am loving that shimmer. I hope you can see how beautiful it is, especially now since it's warmed up to my eye while I was doing the rest of my base. I do have a little bit of blue highlighter from the Nocturnal palette from Blend Bunny. I snuck that in. But there we go. Just for the eyes, I added just a little bit of some Juvia's Place blue liner in the waterline and just along the lashes, some mascara. It's cleaned up a little bit, and then that's it. So this is our second look out of 3 with our influencer favorites from BCH Cosmetics. So on to the next look. Okay, so this is our last palette, Avocado Toast. I think this is the one that is probably the most popular of the 3, and then I opted not to use the pistachio palette for this one. And of course we're going to start with priming our eyeballs first with P. Louise. Then I decided I'm going to use my tape, and we are starting with shade Pink Salt. I want a nice winged out look for my look going out tonight. And I thought I would start with blending with that Pink Salt shade to kind of put down the base and then just have something blended in there. Then we followed up with a guac. Of course I was going to do green. The tiki dress I'm wearing is green, shades of green, some red, some pink. So I thought that was how I was going to lean color story wise. I don't know how long if these were original release palettes or near the end of BH, but the quality has been really, really good so far. So I was really glad to get a hold of these. So now I wanted to go a bit darker. So we're taking this shade Holy Moly, which is a black. And then that's what it looked like when I scanned it on my fingers, but on the eye it did kind of have a little bit of a green tinge, but it was definitely black. Then we're going to go into the shade Ripe. As you can tell, all these have to do things with toast and avocado. And this is a pretty brighter green for the middle of our lid here. And then, of course, a look with me wouldn't be a green look with me if I didn't try to use every green I possibly could. So there we go. So that was the Avo Toast. And that would be the next part there, and those blended in really nicely together. And then next up, yes, we're going to do a yellow shade, and this is a shade called Over Easy. I thought this would be really nice on the inner corner of our eye, kind of like how avocados ripen. I don't know. So there we go. This is my favorite part, is always taking off the tape to see how the wing turned out, and it turned out very good. Sometimes I have to, clean it up a little bit, but I didn't have to this time, so mighty proud of that. Okay, onto the bottom lash line. We're going to be using the shade Holy Moly and Guac. So those are the 2 darker shades in the palette. I thought using the darker shades would anchor the bottom of the lash line better there. And then next up, we're playing with some shimmers. We're starting with Green Juice. It's one of the darker shimmers in the palette. These are just your normal shimmers, nothing like duochrome or anything about them, but sometimes I just like a normal shimmer. And then using your finger, of course, the warmth of the finger sometimes give a little bit of extra shimmer. I wanted to try them without the spray because I couldn't remember how they were. So next up is a Lemon Pepper. So that is kind of like an yellowy shimmer in there. And then I thought that could be for the lighter part of the eye. And there we go. I think that is starting to look really good. And then this is the shade Avocado, or Avocado. It is really, really cute. And I thought we could stick that on the inner port of our eye to get a little bit of shine in our eye. And then I forgot I wanted to use the blush highlighter palette. So this is the Blushing in Bali. So I used the shimmery kind of contour bronzer shade for my bronzer. And then I went into the shade Lychee to use as a blush. It's a nice matte blush, really kind of a light, sweet pink color. And I really like it. And then I went into it a little bit more. And then we're going to need, of course, a little bit of highlight. So this is the shade Glisten. and it is the lightest shimmery shade in the palette, and it really makes a nice highlighter. And I don't think it does too, like, it doesn't make your skin look extra textured or anything. So I really do like this little palette. I got it at our version of TJ Maxx, Home Sense Winners. And yeah, I really enjoy this little palette. And here we go, our finished looks. I am ready for my night at the Shameful Tiki with my friend Amy. And so this is the third look using these 3 palettes from BCH Cosmetics. Throw in a little bit of blushing in Bali. I didn't use my pistachio palette because I'd used it before and we wanted to test out these 3. So which was your favorite? The Mimosa, the Blueberry Muffin, or the Avocado Toast? Let me know what your favorite is down below, and if you have a favorite look that I did. If not, that's all right. So if you like this video, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe even hit that notification bell. If not, that's okay. We can still be friends. We can still play with favorite eyeshadow palettes together. As always, behave, make good choices, and we will talk to you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.